Before we get into today's video, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful week. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about an older case, an older situation that happened, but is still unsolved to this day. And this is just one that so many people, including myself, is still holding out hope for a miracle, and miracles do happen every day. And today we'll be talking about the case of Kyron Horman. There is so many layers and this could literally be an hour-long plus video, but I'm going to try to condense it and talk about the things that are the high points and the things that stick out in my memory and that I find the most important. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you guys my opinion on what I think could have happened and all of that. So stay to the end. By the way, all of my information is pulled from very, very, very public sources that is already out there, filtered through my own opinions, and I am not a professional, so go do your own research, form your own opinions. Before we go any further, I just want to stop and thank today's sponsor, Factor. Factor is a meal delivery service that delivers fresh, never frozen, chef-prepared meals right to your front door. And if you have New Year's resolutions to eat better, Factor can help you meet your nutritional goals. They have Calorie Smart Meals that has meals with 550 calories or less. They've got keto, they've got Veggie Smart, they've got extra protein. They have got gourmet meals, which are so good. As a matter of fact, I just got their filet mignon gourmet meal. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It had like almost 40 grams of protein in it, and the meat was so tender. So delicious. And Factor has over 50 weekly add-ons, so there's always something delicious for you to try. And when things get hectic, Factor is flexible. Change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or you can even pause or reschedule your deliveries at any time. And I have to tell y'all, not only do I love the Factor meals, but they have these chocolate protein shakes, and my favorite are the chocolate latte. Oh my gosh. After I work out, I love to grab one of them because they are so tasty. They also have 18 grams of protein per bottle and 110 milligrams of caffeine. So if you're a person that likes your mid-morning coffee, but you don't want to go maybe through a sugary drive-through to get one, try the Factor protein latte drink, chocolate drinks. So good. You're going to get your protein as well as the caffeine, and I mean, it's literally a win-win. If you want to try Factor, all you got to do is go to factor75.com and use my code ChristinaRandall50, and you can save 50% off of your first box today. Yes, just go to factor75.com, use my code, and you can start saving today. Thanks again, Factor. Other than that, let's just start at the beginning. Kyron Richard Horman was born on September 9th of 2002 in Portland, Oregon. His parents are Desiree Young and Kane Horman. Kane, his father, was an engineer for the company Intel at the time, and Desiree was an accountant. Desiree and Kane believed that they were happy together until Desiree was about 8 months pregnant, and this is when, for whatever reason, they decided to split. Now, the two of them shared custody of little Kyron until 2004, and it seemed like they were getting along for the most part, and they were doing the best thing for their son. However, in 2004, Desiree, Kyron's mother, ended up being diagnosed with a rare kidney disease, and she ended up needing a lot of treatment. And because of this, Kyron's father ended up taking full custody of Kyron in order to, give him the love, the support, the attention, while his mother got the medical support and attention that she needed. Now, it is said that his mother, Desiree, was still very much in the picture. It was just that Kane, his father, had custody of him full time and did all the day-to-day stuff, which is amazing if you have a partner, somebody that you can trust, your child's mother or father, that if something, God forbid, is to happen to one of you, the other one can take over and take good care of the child. It seemed to work really well. Then in 2007, Kane, Kyron's father, married a woman named Terry. Now, from the get-go, Terry seemed like she could have been a great choice for Kane and possibly as a stepmother to Kyron. She was a substitute teacher, and people believed that she loved kids. She loved being around kids. I mean, you got to be a special kind of person to, be a teacher, and this is what everybody believed. Now, Terry had been married and divorced twice before, and she came into this new marriage with Kane with one son from one of her previous relationships. So now at this point, living in the home, they have two boys. They have Terry's biological son, and then now they have Kane's biological son, Kyron, and the four of them were living together. Kane and Terry had actually first gotten together back in 2001, while Kane and Desiree were still in the process of getting a divorce. But in 2007, they were ready to get married, and so they did so in Hawaii. In December of 2008, Terry gave birth to a baby girl by her new husband, Kane. At this time, Kyron was in elementary school at Skyline Elementary near Forest Park, and he was doing really, really well. Everything seemed to be going well with them until it wasn't. Now, Kane would later say that after Terry gave birth to their daughter, she changed. He said that she got postpartum after, giving birth, and the baby cried a lot. The baby was possibly colicky, and she cried a lot. And because of this, he said that Terry changed and she was basically a totally different person. She was snapping. She was moody all the time. They were walking on eggshells, and he just was kind of like not even wanting to be around his wife a lot. It was even reported that Terry was drinking a lot, and she even got a DUI. So you guys have the scene, right? You have Kane, the father, and his biological son, Kyron. Kyron's mother had these health issues. She actually remarries at some point, but he's living with his father. Now he has this new stepmom, Terry, who brings in a stepbrother for Kyron. And then Terry gives birth to Kiera, Kyron's little sister. So this brings us to June 4th of 2010. Kyron was just 8 years old, and on this day he was excited to go to school. He was going to be showing off a project that he did. On this day when he went into school, he was wearing a black t-shirt with CSI in green letters and black cargo pants. He had on white socks with black sneakers with orange trim. That morning, his stepmother Terry is the one who actually took him to school, and she stayed with him while he participated in this school science fair. Terry would later say that after the science fair, she left the school at 8:45 a.m. She said she was walking down the hall. She saw Kyron walking down the hall till he got right about in front of his classroom. She turned and she left the school building. Then later that day at 3:30 p.m., Terry, Kyron's stepmother, Kane, Kyron's father, and his little sister Kiera all went to the bus stop waiting for him to get off of the bus. The bus pulls up, the door opens, and Kyron does not get off. They ask the bus driver, "Hey, where's Kyron?" And the bus driver says, "Oh, he didn't get on the bus." And I don't know if any of y'all have ever experienced that, but pure panic. And you're thinking a million different things. My kid got on another bus. Okay. Oh my gosh, I hope they don't get off on another bus stop. Or they're at the school, they're crying, they're waiting for me to come and get them. All of those thoughts. Terry immediately called the school, and this is when she talked to the school secretary, and the school secretary told her that he was marked absent for the day. She also told them that as far as they knew, Kyron had only attended the science fair. And this is when the true panic set in. The school secretary realized that this meant that Kyron was missing, so she went ahead and called 911, and she called Desiree, Kyron's mother. The school secretary actually went to Kyron's first classroom and found his backpack and jacket still sitting there. Now she says when she asked the teacher, like, "Hey, Kyron's backpack and his stuff is still sitting here, but Kyron is not here. Did you not think of anything?" The teacher told the secretary, "Listen, his stepmom, Terry, came in this morning and she told me she was taking him to a doctor's appointment." Well, when Terry was asked about that, Terry said, "No, I said his doctor's appointment is next week. He has a doctor's appointment next week, not today." So this is looking wild. Okay, so his backpack is there. His stuff is there. He was at the science fair. but nobody had seen him for the rest of the day. When speaking to the police, Terry said that she left the school at 8:45 a.m. She ran errands at 2 different grocery stores until about 10:10 a.m. And then between 10:10 a.m. and 11:39 a.m., she said she was driving her daughter around town trying to soothe an earache that she had. Terry said that she then went to the local gym, she worked out until about 12:40, and she was back at home by 1:21 p.m. Once she was home, she said she got onto Facebook and posted the pictures of Kyron at school to show everybody, like him in front of his science fair project that happened earlier that morning. Now, immediately, the police started an extensive search. I mean, they had all kind of people out there. For miles, they were searching for him. I cannot imagine this panic. Some of y'all panic if your child does not respond to a text message within a certain amount of time, and I get it. Trust me. I cannot imagine the thoughts and the feelings of this. I heard Desiree, the biological mother, say that when she heard about this, she immediately started packing up her stuff. I guess she was about 5 hours away and was making the drive there so she could be there to look for Kyron. And that had to be the most painful and long drive ever, just waiting to get a phone call saying that they had found him. The police were also searching 6 miles away at Suave Island and at the Island Bridge. Strangely, investigators never said why they were searching that area or if they ever found any evidence there. Now, originally, Kyron's family was refusing to speak to the media. Probably an attorney or somebody probably told them not to. However, on June 9th, 5 days after Kyron had been missing, I cannot imagine, this is when they decided they needed to speak out.
Hello, my name is Tony Young, and I'm Kyron's stepfather. The family's asked me to speak on their behalf today. I would just like to say, Kyron, we miss you, we love you, and we need you home right now. We're doing everything we can to work with law enforcement and the search and the rescue crews to make sure that you can get back to us as soon as possible. We want to say how much we appreciate the outpouring of love and support, prayer and thoughts as we wait for you. Your school friends and their families, the teachers, the staff at your school, and the community as a whole have shown how much impact one little boy's smile can have on a community. You mean everything to us, and until you come home, this family is not complete. Please, Kyron, keep up the hope. We believe in you, and we know you will be back with us soon. I'd like to now introduce Kyron's father, Kane Horman.
Hi, I'm Kane. I'm Kyron's father. We want to thank the community, the parents, the children, bus drivers, and all of those who are being interviewed multiple times to help find Kyron. Thank you. We as the family know how difficult and stressful this is, but your memories and statements can help us find Kyron. We will never be able to thank you enough for that help. Finally, we would like to thank the media. If it was not for you showing Kyron on every newscast, printing his story in the papers, his face would not be known to everyone. People from around the nation have seen his picture. This helps tremendously. Please help us bring Kyron home.
3 days later, on June 12th, there was a search team that was searching all of the woods over there by Kyron's school, and they found nothing. They found no trace of him at all. The initial search for Kyron lasted 10 days and was actually the largest in Oregon history and included over 1,300 searchers from Oregon, Washington, and California. A reward was posted for any information leading to the discovery of Kyron, and it was for $50,000. In June of 2010, something shocking happened. Kane, Kyron's father, ended up telling investigators that his wife, Terry, had allegedly tried to hire somebody to kill him, the father. So This threw everybody through a loop at this point. Terry was hiring a landscaper to come and clean and do the landscaping work at their home. And allegedly, this landscaper told Kane that she approached him and asked him if he would kill him, her husband. This supposedly happened 5 months before Kyron disappeared. Now, of course, Terry denied ever having done that in her own deposition, and she stated that this landscaper had actually hit on her one time, and when she rejected him, he got angry, and that must be why he was making up this claim. Now, the investigators even ended up putting a wire on this guy and tried to get him to go and talk to Terry, but they were not able to get any incriminating evidence. Now, I saw Terry talk about this on a Dr. Phil episode, and it was very interesting to see her talk about this. According to her, her husband, Kane, didn't even know that they had a landscaper because Kane wanted his 15-year-old stepson to mow the grass and do, the landscaping as I guess a chore. Well, she decided that that was too much work for her son, so she hired a landscaper behind his back. This is what she said. Then again, she said that he hit on her one day, and that's why he was lying on her. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know any person that's literally going to go to the investigators and insert himself in this and get wired up by making up a lie saying that she tried to have him kill her husband. Nevertheless, Terry denied it, and the investigators were never able to find enough incriminating evidence to do anything about it. On June 28th, Kane filed for a divorce against Terry, and he even took out a restraining order against her because of that whole murder for hire type of thing. Because of this, he was able to get full custody of their daughter, and she was only able to see their daughter with supervised visitation. Now, at the same time, Terry was also asked to take a lie detector test to see if she was hiding anything about Kyron going missing. Well, she did, and she failed 2 times. Now, Terry would say the reason why she failed was because she's hard of hearing in one ear. She went on the Dr. Phil show and they tried to give her a lie detector test, but she ended up walking out on it. Now, this was after she already failed 2 different lie detector tests. When Dr. Phil questioned her about it, he told her that when he spoke to professionals that he trusted who gave lie detector tests, that if you are hard of hearing, then yes, that could be a reason a person could fail a polygraph test. However, before they even give you the test, they go through the questions to make sure you understand them and you can hear them. And she did, and she could hear all the questions and understand them before they hooked her up to the machine. But then once they hooked her up to the machine and she failed the test, all of a sudden she couldn't hear. Nevertheless, that still was not enough to charge her with anything. And if that wasn't strange enough, in August of 2010, it was announced that investigators were searching for someone that was allegedly seen by 2 witnesses sitting inside of Terry's truck outside of Kyron's elementary school the day of his disappearance. The sheriff at the time told reporters the identity of that second person, if he or she existed, could be critical to determining what actually happened to Kyron after 9 a.m. on June 4th. This is when they began to subpoena some of Terry's friends, and you guys. One of Terry's friends is a woman named Dee Dee. Now, according to Desiree and Kane, Kyron's mother and father, Dee Dee was in close contact with Terry and was providing Terry with support and advice that was not in the best interest of their son. According to the investigators, when questioned for 3 hours, Dee Dee was very cooperative. She even allowed the officers to search her property and her car. However, on the day of Kyron's disappearance, it is said that Dee Dee abruptly left her job that she was a gardener at around 11:30 a.m. and she returned about an hour and a half later. Now, Dee Dee claims that she never left her job site and that she was just way in the back in the field and didn't hear anyone calling for her. Now, she also allegedly helped Terry buy an untraceable cell phone. Now, when all of these allegations came out, Dee Dee told reporters that this was a horror that her friend was going through. And if that she thought for a second that her friend Terry had anything to do with this, that she wouldn't even be her friend. Desiree Kane and the elementary school principal were subpoenaed as well to testify during a grand jury hearing. By December, it was announced that the grand jury had not been able to provide compelling evidence for an indictment. Officers were out searching again, but they still didn't find any evidence. And it does make you wonder if they were still receiving credible information or tips. Every day that went by, they did not find Kyron, and there was no trace of him. There was no little shoe tracks in the woods. There was nothing. Now, I heard Desiree, Kyron's mother, say in an interview that when she first talked to Terry and she was asking Terry, like, what happened that morning? Like, this was literally the day that everybody realized that he was missing and that he wasn't at school. That when she was talking to Terry, that Terry was telling her on the phone, she said it was almost like she was reading off of a piece of paper. She was saying, at 8 o'clock I did this, at 8:45 I did this, and like, just almost like she had it rehearsed what she did and where she was. And I cannot believe, as a mother, how that must have made her world just like spin out of control when she's listening to this. In 2012, just 2 years after Kyron went missing, Desiree filed for a lawsuit against Terry and sued her for $10 million. The lawsuit against Terry was claiming that she was responsible for the disappearance of Kyron, and the suit attempted to prove that Terry kidnapped Kyron. Strangely, though, when Dee Dee, Terry's friend that we were talking about earlier, was spoke to for the lawsuit, she refused to answer any of the 142 questions asked. And they were questions like, where were you on the day that Kyron went missing? And what contact did she have with Terry on that day? During all of this, Kane admitted law enforcement had told him that they had more probable cause to think Terry was indeed involved in Kyron's disappearance. So it really seemed like a good case was being built at the time. But by July of 2013, Desiree had dropped her civil lawsuit as to not interfere with the ongoing police investigation. But still at that time, there was no like formal charges that had been brought forth of Terry because they didn't have any evidence. They didn't know where he went. They didn't know anything. And it just reminds me so much of the Gannon and Letitia Stouch case. You know what I mean? The stepmother, and you guys know the horrific story with that situation, but she got caught. She threw that baby's body in a suitcase off of the side of a bridge during a high tide, and then the tide went down and exposed it, and somebody happened to see it. However, had that suitcase made it to the bottom or, floated away, there's no telling, maybe she wouldn't have gotten caught. Maybe she would have never been busted. I like to think that she would have, though. But this situation, I don't know. It just seems really flip-flopping weird. At one point, Desiree said that she had given law enforcement emails that Terry had wrote that said that she hated Kyron, but proof of these emails or confirmation of their existence has never been given. And when I watched that Dr. Phil episode, he said that he was never able to get these emails either. They did talk about Terry having Kyron call his mother and tell her that he wanted to come and live with her. And when Terry was asked about that, she said it was just because like he would cry for his mom. But it I don't know, for some reason it gave me an undertone of me seeing Terry, and this is just my own opinion, this is not factual in any way, but it gave me this feeling that maybe Terry was like messing with Kyron, and he was upset and was like, call your mama to come and get you. Tell her you want to go live with her. Tell her to come and get you. Or something like that. In June of 2018, Desiree posted on the official Find Kyron Facebook page, and she said, "Stay tuned, something big is coming, I promise you." But they appear to still be waiting for justice for Kyron. Now, Kyron's $50,000 reward is still active, and investigators are still asking anyone who has any information to please call 1-800-THE-LOST. Kyron's family is still holding out hope that he is alive, and this does happen. Sometimes it does happen, and I hope that he is. And there's been all of these like remake or AI generated photos of him, and I'll pop a couple up here. Like you can see him, picture of him being younger, and then the AI generated photo of him now. I wouldn't even say that this is every parent's worst nightmare, because I don't know anybody that thinks that their child is going to actually go to school and disappear while in the school without a trace. Like, this is not even typically something people are concerned about because you don't hear about these things happening. What do I think happened? Man, it's such a tall thing to point the finger, but I definitely think Terry knows more than what she says. And the reason why I believe this is because she's been caught in so many lies. It is also said that allegedly Kane was cheating on her. They were like cheating on each other, I think, allegedly. Again, I don't know these people. But that she had all this postpartum stuff after having the baby and she had changed. Maybe she changed because she had the baby, or maybe because they had gotten married, the mask came off. It may not have been postpartum. It may have been actually them finding out who Terry really is. Again, I don't know. I don't know her. But it is speculated that he was cheating on her, and her way to get back at him was Kyron, because she could not get somebody to kill him. I just can't imagine. I think it's very suspicious, one, that she's been caught in so many different lies, and she just happened to be driving around all these errands, no real alibi. It's strange, but what happened to him? Where is he? This has been 13 years now. And as a mother, Desiree, who was sick, who needed help, who believed that Terry loved her son, I mean, it's just so awful. Have y'all heard about this? What do y'all think? Do you think it's possible that somebody else came in that school and got him? I mean, anything's possible, but what are the chances? What are the chances that the person that last seen him, allegedly, according to the teacher, told her that she was taking him to the doctor? She just happened to be riding around for hours all that day, had no real alibi, happened to have gotten caught in many different lies, and it just being somebody that was snatching kids from inside a school just happened to grab that kid. I don't believe in coincidences like that. Y'all let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I love you guys. Again, if you have any information on this, please call that number. I will leave it linked down below as well. Love y'all. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.